still getting ready with the technical stuff here. We just sit and meditate a bit. Is that appealing to you? Because the whole chapter is about meditation, but unfortunately it's like, I hope you don't have the wrong idea. It's not about learning how to meditate or anything like that. I see some people nodding, so they know. Other people go, what? It's more about what will, because it's not talking about just what we understand meditation. You know, we go to the group once a week, we sit, in the morning, every day, yes, no. It's about kind of the meditation that is called how to develop single point of concentration in order to realize emptiness directly, that kind of shamatha. So, but he's not, I guess he assumes that we already know how to do that, but he talks about the obstacles that we have not to put effort into developing that mind. So it's all about attachment, and I have to warn you already now, it's kind of, it will spoil your fun, could spoil your fun in samsara, but it could increase your joy in doing the right thing. So, because sometimes, we're always seeking to gratify these five senses. We have trained to do that. We do it very spontaneously, almost very naturally. It seems that we do this in a very natural way, but we also create a lot of negative karma. And not just the negative karma, but also we don't really find what we're looking for. We're looking for lasting satisfaction, right? So, but we do find joys in samsara. I'm not saying that we don't find them, or pleasure, or wonderful moments, and this and that. So that's the problem, because we do find them. We don't have renunciation, because it seems that running after these pleasures is easier and more fulfilling than sitting down and trying to cultivate a concentrated mind. It seems, because it's true. I mean, before you experience pleasure and openness and lightness and like bliss and well-being in your meditation, why you have to sit many, many hours. Going to buy your favorite ice cream is much quicker, much easier. Finding people that love you and you love them, and we will be looking at attached love, that will be painful, but we have to look at it. Is it better for you up there? How about you come here? I'm a bit attached to you. I don't like to see you so far away.
No, only the air conditioning.
Here in front also. Anyway, if you feel comfortable there, it's fine. But yeah, try here. I like to see you.
It's much better.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're kind of a bit lost behind there. So, we need to know the, kind of the benefit of this, which comes in all the previous chapters. So, I will do a recapitulation of the text. So maybe you remember why he is so strict and almost so harsh. And but for that, we just, while they are doing this, we sit, we kind of try to meditate, try to arrive, right? To concentrate or to be with your body, that's always the best thing. Feel comfortable. I mean, if you need something for like support for your bum, I think there's something behind there if you don't have anything. Or there's something lying on that chair there, cushion. I don't know if it belongs to somebody. Over there, there's some more cushions, so, just make sure you're comfortable and you can keep your back as straight as possible without too much effort. And, forget about everything I said, forget also what David and this very nice young lady is doing. It's all about you at the moment. It's not about them. They are figuring out whatever they need to do. You don't need to worry maybe it will work, maybe it will not work. It works, as you can see, it's wonderful. So you close your eyes, you connect to your body. It's so difficult. There we see the first thing that Shantideva was talking about, why we cannot meditate, is distraction. So you sit now, I'm not going to guide you because you're all supposed to be experienced meditators. I mean, you maybe not sitting, but you have heard this again and again and again, how to start meditating and all this. And also what I noticed, like with groups that are experienced, I don't like to guide them anymore because I see it with myself. I'm following the one who is guiding and I'm not doing anything. I'm just consuming. I'm just, blinking out somewhere, going into thoughts, waiting until the voice comes to say, come back to your breath. I go back to your breath. A half a second, and whoosh, let's go again, and then I hear the voice. So if I meditate on my own, then I have to bring the mind back myself. I have to develop the habit of bringing it back, not somebody. This voice, guided meditation and all that, is very helpful at the beginning because the mind is all over the place. And so it helps. But then it's like riding a bicycle when you learn with two little side wheels. It's good to learn, but then it's no fun because it's too strict and you're not learning to play with your mind, kind of. But you need these kind of guidelines, borders, however you want to call them at the beginning, so that you learn how to deal with your mind, how to let go of distractions, how to open up, how to do this and this, and then you have to do it on your own, because otherwise you never really learn. Because this kind of awareness that we're trying to train, it has to. It's good if it comes out into your daily life and that it becomes a habit, right? So I let you sit for 10 minutes and you check, like I would suggest you do what you always do. Usually it's the breath, in, out, or if you do nature of the mind, of course you can do that. If it's a figure of the Buddha or any other visual object, you can do that. You choose, then you do it. And then when you lose it, when you get distracted, you check, what is it? Where are my thoughts going? What is it that is distracting me? And you label it. Don't get frustrated. It's totally normal. Our distractions are so normal that they seem natural, but they're not. It's a training. Okay? So 10 minutes, just David in his computers and cameras, and you with your mind. Okay, so you maybe remain a little bit like this with a calm, open mind, and I will read just a few verses from the second chapter, and then you think, how does that appeal to me? What do I do with these words? You let everything arise, emotions, thoughts, sensations, whatever. But what do these words kind of do to my own mind? May I be a protector for those without one, a guide for all travelers on the way. May I be a bridge, a boat, and a ship for all those who wish to cross the border. May I be an island for those who seek one, a lamp for those who need a light. May I be a bed for all who wish to rest, and a slave for all who want a slave. May I be a wish-fulfilling jewel, a magic vase, powerful mantras and great medicine. May I become a wish-fulfilling tree and a cow of plenty for the world. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all sentient beings. So just look, what is there to inspire you? What is there to put you off? What is there to let you completely hold? Okay. So, these words, what do they do to you? Do they do something to you?
When they say to be a guide, to be an island, to be a bridge, then it gives me inspiration to say yes, yes.
Yeah.
But when he says to be a slave,
Yeah, right.
I see that I still have a lot to practice.
Right. So meaning, well, just because it's an 8th century text, so don't worry when it's kind of a bit strange, especially when it goes on about marriage and things like that, because at that time in India, you had to get married in order to have sexual conduct. Otherwise, you had to go to a prostitute. So, and you had to get married just for status. You were nobody if you were not married, man and women. And so, so it talks about the disadvantage, and that it talks as if one only gets married because one wants to have a body, like in this case, a female body, but it's not really what it's meant. Yeah, and also when you get married, then children come, of course, because at that time there was no contraception, then responsibility, you have to have a house and work and this and that. And then so he's talking a lot about disadvantages of being married, right? So, but to people who are not married yet. So if you're already married, then maybe, and you hear that and you think, oh gosh, he's so right, because you see the disadvantages yourself. You see the stress that it brings, you see the worries that you have, and the burden and the tensions and all this when it doesn't go the way you want it to go. You can make an aspiration. In my next life, may I not be attached to having family. May I be born also in a society where it's not necessary. Because, of course, this text is for monks, right? But we can also maybe take something from it. Because that's why the Buddha created monks and monasteries, so that in this society where you have to be married, you can have a decent life without being married. This is why there is monasteries. So there is a place. Yeah. But you can also not be married, especially today, not needing to be a monk or a nun to go to a monastery. It's like, slowly, actually more and more people understand these words of Shantideva. So maybe somebody has something heavy and then we hang it there. We have a counter. It's okay. Ooh.
It stays.
What we usually say, it's okay, very soon. A bit like samsara, we say it's okay. So you don't have to become monk or nun, and in this society, although in Israel it's still a bit strange, isn't it? Maybe not now anymore, but I remember 20 years ago, people were asking me serious questions. How can you be a woman, not having children, not being married was not important, but not having children and be happy?
Yeah.
I was very surprised.
Same today.
Huh?
Nothing changed.
Still today, okay. And especially parents wanting to become grandparents. I mean, it's such a pressure sometimes. So please, when you are then a grandparent, leave your kids alone. They want to get married, they can get married. They don't want to get married, it's okay. You can enjoy other people's grandchildren, You can be, for example, I know people here in Israel that their parents are not here. So it's very difficult because everybody has a lifestyle where there are parents and you take the children. If you don't have grandparents, but you have to live in that lifestyle with that, that much work, otherwise you don't get a job, totally committed, and this is terrible stress. So if you don't have your own grandchildren, you can be a substitute, Savta or Saba, to those people who don't have. That would be a nice thing to do, isn't it? I can give you addresses and phone numbers of people I know who are stressed because of that. Okay. So the slave, right? So the slave is basically, at that time there were slaves, and so it's the mind state of a slave, of somebody who is voluntarily a slave. So we want to be independent, we want to make our own decisions, but as a Bodhisattva, you've seen maybe the title of this is A Guide to a Bodhisattva's Way of Life. So becoming a Bodhisattva is a decision. It's not that, I ended up in these Dharma friends, they practice Mahayana Buddhism, the Dalai Lama practices Mahayana Buddhism. They're all talking about bodhicitta, bodhisattvas, all this, so I guess, okay, I'll become one of those. No. You really have to examine if you are up to it and if you really want it. And you start right at the bottom by seeing your own suffering. By studying Buddhism, by understanding the suffering can end. I mean, how many people kind of are exposed to this, that suffering as causes, and that we kind of adopt it as being true? Not so many in our society. Right? And also put effort into then have ethical conduct. I mean, many people have very natural ethical conduct. I think not many people go around kind of with the wish to kill humans, but there are. Not just terrorists out of ideology, but because of confused mind. We just had something now in Switzerland, son killing his father and then jumping off a bridge, killing himself. So, I mean, I think most of the human beings still have this kind of very natural ethical conduct of not going around and killing humans. When it comes to kind of, thinking about your own profit and maybe not paying for what you need to pay, or, if you can get away with it, it's not so many anymore. When it comes to kind of not not creating adultery, and kind of you fall in love with somebody else, and it seems like, wow, this is it, my life will be okay from now on until wherever. The other couple, yourself, the other couple, it has gone a bit stale, kind of, and you're already thinking about divorce, and boom, you meet this woman or this man, and waiting until it's really settled with the other partner, also it's not so common anymore, isn't it? It's kind of degraded. Lying, oof. Harsh words, oof. Me myself sometimes. Not kind of falling in love with other people. I think I'm too old for that. That's really great. At least I'm protected from that one. And so that's what I mean. You don't need religion to have ethical conduct. I'm not saying that. But religion, or a certain view that if I'm not ethical, it will lead to problems, I think it can be helpful. I think the world is in a mess as it is at the moment because not many people have this, they don't care. All we care about, maybe we can include ourselves, all we care about is our immediate comfort right now. The consequences, about climate warming and this and that, it's almost too late to go backwards because we got so used to have all this. Now at the moment in Switzerland, everybody's freaking out, we won't be able to heat in the winter because there's not enough electricity. What? This was something 20 years ago, it crossed my mind when I came from India to Switzerland in the winter. I can't remember what the reason was, but I was there in the winter, and I came into an apartment that was warm. It was cold outside. I thought, because India, Dharamsala in the winter, gosh, it's cold. Sometimes you're just miserable. I can't move. You go into your sleeping bag and you don't warm up, and you're just miserable. No wish to practice anything. It's just like instead of moving, which would help, you freeze even more. It's quite amazing. So I know how it feels from my own body. So I know also when I see refugee camps, and it rains and snows and this and that, I know how it feels when you have no place to warm up except for moving, and you can't because you're so stupid, because you want to keep that little bit of warmth that is still there. So then it crossed my mind, just like this, and I thought, wow, this is amazing. You come from the cold into a house, and it's warm. It's like you probably here, it's hot outside, you come into a room that is air-conditioned, you go like, wow, this is amazing that we have the technology, the energy to do that. And then a second thought came, I wonder what they would do if there would be no heater. And then I thought, this is not possible. In Europe, that we can't heat. Well, there we are. So it will be interesting to see what happens this winter. I'm used to it. So what I do in the evening, especially if I'm really cold, I go to bed with a hot water bottle in a warm sleeping bag. And I can read there, I can think there, I can meditate there, I can kind of feel miserable there. It's a nice space. I don't need to walk around in my t-shirt in the winter in the house. We can put on layers, so it's very good for sweater business and sportswear, where you wear when you go skiing. You can wear it at home. Everybody has it anyway, so like that. But it will be difficult for old people. So it's really nice. This is what I think it's good about humanity, that they will make rules how warm an apartment is supposed to be, but this will not apply to old people's homes and to hospitals, because they understand that old people need more warmth than young people. So it will be a little bit like that. So ethical conduct very much has to do with being attached to our own comfort, and then it goes down the drain very quickly when it's uncomfortable.